Why? Because of the E Street Band coming along? Or?
Well, yeah, I was with Southside Johnny for a year or two, and then Bruce was coming down and jamming with us. We had a residency at a place called the Stone Pony, and Bruce, his first 2 records didn't do anything, so he wasn't playing that often.
Was his songwriting good for you then, if you look back on it now?
Yeah, he was good. He was always good. He was writing earlier, well, around the same time, I guess, but he was very, very determined to find his way as a writer, and I think I was a little more distracted by other things, you know. He was always much more focused than I was. And he was finding his way also. You know, you could hear it those first couple of records, but you know, he was onto something, you know, that was interesting, and you know, you could hear the influences very obviously in those first record or two, you know, but by the, well, I would say right away there was things that he had found his own voice, you know, but. So he just asked me to join. He had 7 shows booked, and he said, "Come on the road with me for 7 shows, whatever it was, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, because I want to front the band a little bit, and you play guitar, and I'll put the guitar down, and you know, it's just for fun. You know, I wanted to get away from the bars. You know, it was just constantly fighting, and I was kind of managing Southside Johnny's, you know, the jukes, so I'm always arguing with the bar owners, and you know, it's just a pain in the neck, you know.
Yeah.
So you know, it was fun, you know, to get a little bit of taste of this going on the road thing. So I joined, and
I think
and then,
10 years later.
Suddenly, yeah, I went for 7 shows and stayed for 7 years. Yeah.
Was it for you then, if you look back on now, because you were saying you were writing your own songs, and then Bruce Springsteen asked you for the E Street Band. Let's say you weren't asked for the E Street Band. Maybe you could have gone more into your own songwriting. If you look back on now.
Yeah.
Do you regret then the E Street Band? I don't think so, but.
You know, in some ways I do. Southside himself was not the vehicle for me. He was an R&B type of soul, white soul singer, you know, which was cool. But I never saw him going all the way, you know, becoming totally successful in the pop world, you know. And looking back, I mean, I was a bit lazy about it, you know, I think, I should have found the right singer that was the perfect idea of what I wanted to do, you know.
Who, for example?
I don't know, I wouldn't have
maybe
known.
now, if you look back, maybe someone that...
You know, I don't know who that would have been. There was a time when I left E Street Band, I did 5 solo albums concerning politics, and then I decided to finally do that and put together the perfect band, and I auditioned 300 singers and never found somebody who I liked. You know?
And maybe somebody who is around now, you were saying he comes close?
Oh, there's some good singers, but at the time I was looking for the next, you know, Rod Stewart, or the next Mick Jagger, or the next Roger Daltrey, you know. I was looking for really, like, you know, superstar type of singers, you know, that I grew up with, you know, and I never quite found one. You know, it was the beginning of the whole grunge thing and all that. By the time I started looking.